What's going on YouTube? It's AKingsCreation again, bringing you guys back another guide. I want to go ahead and tell you guys all of the answers to all 12 weeks of the scout missions for anybody who hasn't completed it all the way through or has done any of them at all. Now, if you're like me and like to wait until the last minute to get stuff done and then do it all at once, well, this is the guide for you. This will be all of the answers for all 12 weeks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we're on week 1. This is the first week of the scout missions. The objective one is to complete a target practice activity. Now, if you're new to the game and don't know what a target practice activity looks like, it looks like something like this. All right, it's a little logo with a little X in the middle of it, basically like a target. You can find these around the open world. Now, if you're new to the game, you probably won't see it right away. You'll probably have a question mark like this if you haven't been by this area to see what the activity is. But if you go to these question marks, you'll probably end up seeing a target practice, and this will be what it looks like. Now, objective number 2 is to eliminate true suns around the White House and its surrounding zone. So what I like to do is stay close to the White House and try to find true suns activity. So this one, for example, is a true suns activity. You guys can see it at the top left. And also, if you look around, this is a true suns control point. Now, you're more than likely going to find 25 enemies between these two alone because of the amount of waves that each one of these give. Now, the best way to do this and the quickest way to do these scout missions is to do everything on normal. But say, for example, you haven't reached level 100 in the season, you want to go ahead and increase the difficulty to get more experience. But if you're just trying to rush through these scout missions, switch everything to normal, and you can do that by changing the global difficulty all the way to normal and then completing all the activities in the open world. Now, the last objective, or objective number 3, is to liberate true suns control points. Now, you can do this anywhere in the open world, but even still, if you're trying to do objective 2 and 3, you can look for true suns control points, and we've just mentioned one here for an example. But that objective you can do anywhere in the open world. Like I said, do it on normal so you can speed run through it. Okay, week number 2, or scout 2. Objective number 1 is to sell gear or weapons to the campus vendor. So if you don't know what the campus is, it is one of the safe areas or safe settlements in Washington, D.C. All right, top left of the map. And this is where it's called the campus. Now, once you're here, you want to go ahead and come all the way to the vendor. It says it up here, go to the vendor and go all the way to inventory. Okay. And once you go to inventory, you can select which items you really don't need, and you can just sell them by clicking sell item. And that will complete objective number 1. You got to sell at least 10. All right, objective number 2 is pretty much straightforward. It's just telling you exactly where you need to retake control points in downtown West, you know, Foggy Bottom, etc., etc. You just go to those areas. So for example, downtown West or West End is probably on the west side. Just complete any of these control points. I highly recommend just staying in one area, so you can complete all 3 of these, for example, and then you will complete that objective. Objective number 3 is to donate resources to control points. Now, if you never donated resources to control points, for example, let me see if I completed one. Okay, I have some control points here already completed. So once I get there, I'll show you exactly how to donate resources. Okay, so once I'm here, you see how the officer needs certain resources. Like, for example, this one needs water. So you just talk to the officer and donate whatever missing resources they need if you have any. Okay, week 3, scout 3. Eliminate elite enemies in downtown West. Now, you're probably wondering what elite enemies are. So this is the best way to do this. In order to kill elite enemies, you can either do this in downtown West. You can either kill them by doing control points or going to bounties. Now, if there's no bounties in the area, like for me, for example, I don't have any bounties in this area, I will highly recommend just going ahead and doing control points, because these are the areas where elites will spawn. And say, for example, oh, well, there's only 2 control points. What you can do is reset the map once you complete these 2 control points, and they will go back to being enemy controlled, and just retake them back again in order to complete your 5. Now, objective 1 and objective 2 is kind of similar because all you have to do is complete activities in downtown West. So you completing those control points should trigger a completion for objective 1 and objective 2. Now, if they don't, for example, all you have to do is go ahead and go back to downtown West and complete these activities, or complete any of the activities in red, and that will complete that objective. Now, objective number 3 is straightforward. It's basically completing bank headquarters on any difficulty. Now, the difficulty we want to do is normal. So you want to go ahead and do this on normal. And for anybody who doesn't know where bank headquarters is, it is right here next to the settlement, the campus. Okay, week 4, Scout 4, complete activities in West End. Now, it was the same thing like before when I was telling you can just complete any activity in the area of downtown West, but this time it's the same thing with West End. So just complete any of these activities to complete objective 1. Objective 2, eliminate 5 named enemies in West End. It's the same exact thing. You can either complete control points in the West End and repeat those, because named enemies are basically bosses or mini bosses, however you want to call it. And you can just complete control points, or like I mentioned before, you can do bounties. Bounties is also a good way of completing objective number 2. Now, objective number 3, all you have to do is complete Federal Emergency Bunker on any difficulty, or basically normal. Okay, that's what we want to talk about, is normal only. Okay, week 5 is probably a duplication to you of week 1 a little bit, because you had to kill True Sons in week 1. So even completing objectives in week 1 might also contribute to week 5 or Scout 5. So these objectives, when you get to week 5, you might already complete it. But if not, kill any True Sons around the open world in Washington, D.C. And then you will also complete True Son activities like I showcased to you guys before. And this time you have to complete the Lincoln Memorial on any difficulty. And what difficulty we talk about? That is on normal. Week 6 is pretty straightforward as well. This time, instead of True Sons, you want to go ahead and eliminate all the black tusks in the area around you or in the open world. Doesn't matter where you do it, just destroy as many black tusk soldiers as possible. Also, you want to eliminate warhounds. This is for objective number 2. Now, those are the little robotic dogs that run around the open world. You will notice them, trust me. And objective number 3 is to eliminate black tusk named enemies. We talked about this. The best way to either do this is through control points or through bounties themselves. All right, week 7 is very similar to week 2, where we had to go to the campus to go to the vendor and sell our weapons or gear that we did not want. Now, this is the same exact thing, but a different settlement this time. This time we have to go to the theater. For those who don't know where the theater is, it is up here in downtown East. All right, it's called the Theater Settlement. You go here, you go to the vendor there, and you sell your gear or weapons you do not need. Objective 2 is to retake control points in downtown East, where we just looked at. Actually, if you do all the control points near the settlement or in that zone, you should complete this as well. All you need to do is 3, and donating resources to those control points. Once you capture them, retake them, you can go to the officer and donate resources to the officer. Okay, week 8, I gotta explain this one a little bit, because this is a high value target week, or Scout 8. Objective number 1 is straightforward. We already talked about True Sun control points, but this time it's telling you exactly what area to do the in. And this is East Mall. Okay, in East Mall, this is the area we're going to focus on for this week. Objective number 2, complete Capitol building on any difficulty. But objective number 3 is a little bit different. It says Bounty Lieutenant Hanford, right? For this bounty, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and go to East Mall, for example, right? This is the area, Capitol building is over here. So basically everything will be in this area. Now you want to go to bounties. Once you get to bounties, it doesn't show me because I've already completed it, but in this list of bounties, you will see Lieutenant Hanford here. All right. So once you will go there, click on him and chase him down, hunt him down and kill him, and then you will complete that objective. So that is why it's a high value target week. Okay, so week 9 is actually kind of good, because week 8 you had to go through East Mall to maybe capture 1 True Sun's control point. Well, that control point also contributes to the East Mall. Now, sometimes it'll work, sometimes they won't activate. So if it still says 0 out of 4, you just have to reset the map and go through all 4 control points again in East Mall to get this completed. Now, I feel like once again, these two go hand in hand because you have to complete open world activities in East Mall and control points count towards that. So these two might trigger at the same time. Once again, if they don't, then you can just do any of the activities in red in East Mall. Now, complete Air and Space Museum on any difficulty. We'll just complete this on normal, and Air and Space Museum is a little bit south of the East Mall, that main mission. Week 10 is also straightforward, except we have one new objective that might be new to newer players, but obviously older players and veterans can understand what a resource convoy is. If you don't know what a resource convoy is or what it looks like, it is this exactly right here. It is a little crate or enemy crate. They have a direct path. They usually go to control points that are also enemy. So you kind of got to stop them before they get to that control point or they'll disappear. And these are resource convoys. Now, the next two objectives are also straightforward, but I'm going to talk about the propaganda broadcast since we haven't talked about that one yet. It looks like this, okay? It's like a little speaker or a little volume logo, however you want to call it. This is a propaganda broadcast, and they are located around the open world. You just got to find one of them and complete it. And last but not least, you just got the Black Tusk bounties. Now, if we haven't really talked about the bounties, let's go ahead and see if we can find a Black Tusk bounty. Here we go. Here's a Black Tusk bounty. This is what it looks like. You just go over to the bounties tab and find Black Tusk bounty anywhere in the open world. Click on it and complete these. Kill these two, named enemies, and you should complete the objectives. Week 11, complete open world activities for objective 1 in Downtown East. For anybody who doesn't know where Downtown East is, even me, sometimes I played this for like almost 100 plus hours, maybe more, and I still struggle to find out exactly where these areas are. So if you just want to get a quick glance at where Downtown East is, it is right here. So you want to complete any of these open world activities in this area. Also, same thing with named enemies. Like I said before, you can find them at control points or do bounties in that area. Complete Grand Washington Hotel on normal as well in that, just so you can speed run through it to complete that objective. And it is in that area as well. Week 12, Scout 12. Okay, complete invaded missions. Now, I've already completed some, so I might not see any invaded missions. Yeah, I did complete them, but this, I'm pretty sure for everybody, is invaded still, and this one is triggered by these two main missions and plus Camp White Oak, if I remember correctly. Just go ahead and knock out these 2 or 3 main missions and you should complete that objective. It will say invaded on it as well, and then to complete the invaded stronghold, that will more than likely be what is connected to, and it should unlock once you complete the invaded main missions. And this was District Union Arena for the stronghold for invaded. For me, it should be the same for y'all. It might be different, but either way, if it says invaded, that means you have to do that. Now, the same thing before when I mentioned the Lieutenant Hanford, it's the same exact thing. You have to go through the bounty list to find Alec. It will be a bounty on the bounty list. Easiest way to find it is to just go through, hover over the targeted bounties, and you should find the name of Alec, and then go through that mission, complete it, and you should complete all week 12 activities. So these are all the answers for all of the Scout week objectives. If you guys enjoyed this video or guide, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.